Hey there, and welcome to the podcast Tiling Connect, hosted by Mark Moskwa. This show is designed to connect people with the best information intended to strengthen the business of tiling. To keep up to date with all the episodes, don't forget to subscribe.
Tiling Connect is brought to you by Lux's Grates, the leaders in aluminium drainage, which are UV stable, rust proof and customisable on site. Available at your local tile or plumbing shop. Hey everybody, Mark here from Tiling Connect. Welcome to today's show. I have another fantastic guest on with us today, and someone that's actually been in the industry, I reckon, probably just a smidge longer than me. But I remember meeting Jacqui back in 2004. So I may or may not be right, but I've got Jacqui Buyn here with me, who's a long-time friend and colleague that's been in the industry, tile and stone industry, for quite some time. So Jacqui, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. It's really good to actually connect in with some people that I know and have known for a while, although it's great to also interview people I've got no idea who they are and you find out more about them. Yeah, it's really cool to have you on today. How have you been?
I can't believe you got 2004. I actually had to look on my LinkedIn account to figure out what dates, because my age is getting up there now. I'm forgetting when I started.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, I'm doing really well, thanks, actually. Yeah, really well.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, look, traditionally in this show, we sort of have a very open platform. And what I like to do is obviously give the guests as much time as I can, because it's not about me. It's about the people that come on. So, look, let's just get into it. And if you could share with us a little bit about you and who you are and what you do.
Okay, so Jacqui Buyn, 38, 39 soon. Obviously been in tiles for a long time. I've actually lost count of how many years, but let's basically say I started at 19, and I'm an architectural specification at the moment and have been for the last 9 years.
Very cool. And so you've been like, and I don't mean to jump around a bit here, but I had formulated some really good questions earlier. You've been in the industry. You and I met. I remember, I think I was working for the ceramic tile market down at Springwood when it was around. Yeah. And I think you were going around, you're working for a company. I'm sure you'll share a bit more with us about that throughout the course of today. But you're working for a company. And I think one of the first products I bought from you was like Stackstone. Yes. For like a facade of some description, because it was just all the fad in the early 2000s.
Yeah, shows our age. Yeah, that was right. STQ and Brisbane Tiling Service back then, Nick DeMarco.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, so they brought, so I started off in childcare and university to be a primary school teacher.
Yeah.
And decided that maybe that wasn't where I wanted to go in life, because I really didn't like children. The childcare turned me off children, and I got into sales, and I love sales, and I was quite competitive. So then I went into Metro Tiles actually, and then Shannon from Rocks On actually got me the position with STQ. There was a management role going in Brisbane. So at I think 19, I moved to Brisbane to work for STQ.
Where did you move from?
From the Gold Coast to move to Brisbane to be with STQ.
Gold Coast to Brisbane. Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Used to come home on weekends. That's before all the tunnels were there, so the peak hour traffic was always terrible. So you had to leave at 5 o'clock in the morning. And, so I moved to Brisbane and lived in Brisbane for work.
Yeah, wow.
About 19, I think. Young.
Okay. It's funny you mentioned Nick's name. Now, shout out to Nick if he's listening. I actually called into their business about a month ago. I was just doing some old, traveling around and catching up with old businesses that I'd done business with in the past. Yeah. And Nick was there, but he couldn't see me because he was busy. But I couldn't believe he's still going.
Actually, I keep in touch with Nick and Olga actually.
Yeah.
So I see them not regularly, but I went to the movies with Olga one night, and I still actually keep in touch with him. I learned a lot through Nick. He's a good operator, but a really hard operator, so he taught me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's still going tiling.
the hardest lessons are the ones that you learn the most from, right?
Yeah. I learned a lot from that man. Definitely did. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So you worked, so STQ was that the launch pad for you into the industry?
Yeah, it was a launch pad. I loved working with my customers and customer service, and I love the adult interaction. I think that's why I gave up university, because children wasn't my forte. I had a love for sales, and I was quite competitive, so I always wanted to try push the bar. And the wholesale division was good for that, because you're up against a lot of competitors.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was like the early 2000s, because I came completely out of like food and retail clothing into sort of building products. So it was very foreign for me. I do remember around that time though, it was really busy. Like it was a pretty rich industry. I think the early 2000s, and I hope I'm not wrong, but I think it was very investor driven. Like there was people that owned 2 and 3 and 4 investment properties, and every person that was coming in to buy tiles and that was doing upgrades and renovations to investment property. So I remember it was off the charts. And it was like a good, well, it was like that until about 2008 and 2009, until the GFC hit. So it was a good run for a long time.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So what is it like, you've obviously been in the game for a long time, both of us have. What is it that you like most about the industry? Like what is it about building and construction specifically that you love?
The interaction I have with my clients, the buildings that you get to work on. Obviously, with working with architects and interior designers now, we get to work on large scale projects with commercial. So never one day is the same.
Yeah.
And it just keeps you. I say the most important foundation of life is happiness. So if you can get up every day and go to work and be happy, then you're doing the right thing. That's success. In my eyes, to be happy equals success. So there's not one day that I get out of bed and go, oh my God, it's Monday. Yeah. Keeping in mind we're human, so we have bad days. I might be a little bit tired, but there's not one day that I really get up and go, oh my God, I can't wait for the weekend. And that's what this industry gives you, like it's changing and you're always growing with it. So it's not like you're stagnant and you're just sort of stuck in the same place.
Yep. Yeah. Right. And just touching on something that you said there, because I really love that saying about, getting up on a Monday and feeling like, oh my God, I have to get up and do it again. It's not where your mindset's at. And I've never been there. I love Mondays. I think Mondays are the best day of the week. And everyone goes, you're crazy. Like, why isn't Saturday or Sunday the best day of the week? And I'm like, well, every day is a great day. Yeah. But Monday is like sort of
start it, get it, go get it.
Yeah, it's the blank canvas, right? And then by the end of the week, you go, wow, look what I've created. So, I really like that. Are there things that you do, and I don't mean to jump around a bit here, but are there things that you do that put you in that right mindset, that right frame to get up and go at it? Are there books that you read? Are you like, what's your life outside of work? Is it very active? Like,
very active. So I get up 4 a.m. I walk on my treadmill for 2 hours to try to get my 15,000 steps in. Wow. The little one wakes up at 6. So I've got 45 minutes to try to smash out a gym workout around getting his breakfast, changing his TV channel, and interacting with him while he's trying to do the exercises I'm doing. So that's our routine in the morning. Get him to daycare and then get to work.
Oh, cool. Wow.
But I think a healthy mindset, and that, like, for me, it came from a little bit of drama back in personal days, and I took a journey through Awaken Lifestyle, which is mindset coaches, and their content was happy and content every single day, and I definitely got that out of that company. I did an inner work course for a year, and I've never looked back.
Are they a local company, or
they're in Brisbane? I think they're in the Valley now. They were near the Brecky Creek and around there.
Okay.
They're Awaken Lifestyles. They're a mindset coach. They're incredible. Like I've said to the company I work for now, that if you ever need to get them on board to do a presentation to our staff, they'd be amazing to come through and talk to people, because they really help you change your mindset. And ever since then, I've never looked back. I did that in 2018.
How did you find this particular one, out of all of them? Like, what was the methodology there?
Well, I think because they have life experiences themselves, it wasn't just a textbook where they've gone to uni, they've got their degree, and they've set up a practice. They actually have life experiences. and
Yeah,
have
right.
huge stories behind themselves.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they've done something to create something and they can show that through themselves.
Mm.
And I find that was the reason why I went to them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, that's
Yeah, you have
awesome.
to look them up. They're really incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I get some information from you for the show notes, because those sorts of things are like what I call gems that people love. It's a little bit like when you read a autobiography of, you know, someone that you aspire to be like, or someone that you've got a lot of admiration for, and you go through and I don't know if you're like this if you do any reading, and I haven't got to that question yet, but I like to highlight phrases out of a book and just go back over it at the end, and you know, they're the gems of things that you pick up on, and the sort of things that you try and copy and adapt into the way that you want to operate. So for change.
The director of this company and my coach, my personal coach, is exactly that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, an inspiration of where you want to be, you know.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, look, let me wind it back a little bit before I go too much off right field. You know, throughout your career, you've worked for some big companies, not many, mind you. There's only three. We'll do a part 2 later on. There'll be more. I'm sure there'll be more to talk about. How do you go about choosing? Because there's only 3, you must have some sort of selection process that you go through before deciding that you're going to work for someone, right?
Yeah,
what is that? How do you go about selecting a really good company to work for?
How do I go about? Oh, that's a hard question. Because the first 2 companies were obviously small family businesses.
Yeah.
And then the company I'm with now obviously is a large company. I guess you just get a feel for, when you're in your interview process and you're speaking with the director or the manager, a feel for whether you connect with that person. And you put yourself in that position, whether you will be the best fit for their position, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you've been with the last, where you are now, your career, you've been there for 9 years, you mentioned before?
9 years, yes.
So you're an architectural representative?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that. What's involved? Like, how does that fit into the scheme of, you know, tile selection and supply and that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So architectural specification, we basically start at the start of the project with interior designers and architects to get our products on the schedules of finishes. And then obviously once they're documented that, which some of the jobs can be, we do it now and then we won't even see it for a couple of years. We will then pass that down to a BDM to price for the builders. So we get to really work at the design stage, which is quite exciting because you get to see it all come together. And then in 2 years, you might see all your hard work finally on that schedules of finishes.
Yep.
And then 2 years later, the project being built.
Yeah, wow.
The interior designers and our architectural clients they're just all beautiful people. They're in a high pressure environment, so they're under pressure all the time. But they just, I don't know, I've got the best clients in the business and I have the best role in the company. I absolutely love what I do. It's probably why I've been there for 9 years, and sort of I say to people, I don't want to change. Don't offer me another position, because this is where I love, and this is what I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So you deal with the designers and architectural firms quite frequently.
Every day.
Is there anything coming up that's about to launch, or any job that's about to complete that you've been involved in?
Too many.
Too many.
Probably got a couple of 100 projects specified.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, we've got the Monarch project in Toowong.
Okay.
So there's a few I can't speak of because we're just trying to get the contracts obviously tied up. But you get to work on a couple of 100 unit projects at a time.
Yeah, wow.
We've done some beautiful work with our clients.
Is it a lot of residential, or is it mixed developments?
Mainly commercial, so mainly multi-residential townhouse projects. So anywhere from 20 units to 300 units. Casinos, restaurants, really commercial. I mean, I do houses as well, but mostly commercial. Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And how are you finding things in the market at the moment? Is there still plenty of work out there to go and chase after, or has it quieted off a little bit, or?
No, it's still busy. I mean, we've done a lot of the multi-res, so that is slowing down a little bit, but you've got the hotel renovations coming through. So we all think it's going to go quiet. Like I thought that in 2018, that, oh my gosh, how am I going to bring in more work than I am? And then I've still brought in the same amount of work, if not more, for the last few years. So every time we freak out, work just comes through in a different way. Like it might come through townhouse developments as opposed to a 300 unit multi-res.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, it's a really weird position we're in right now. We're all seeing it, we're all feeling it. Like I'm involved in obviously building products from an equipment and tool perspective, and I thought at the start of this year it was a bit unpredictable and things were sort of up and down, and from one day to 1 week to 1 month, you could never really determine what was happening. And then all of a sudden, May, June, July happened, and it was just really, really busy, and there was lots of stuff going out the door. The trades were all really busy, and you're just seeing things swing in roundabouts a different way.
Absolutely.
There's probably not as much renovation work as what was going on during COVID, which to be expected with interest rate rises and all of the inflation occurring, and the banks doing what they're doing. So people have had to watch what they're spending, but then there's spend happening in other areas, and we're in such a dwellings deficit in this country. It's phenomenal how many homes we haven't got built that we need. And we can't get enough builders, enough trades, enough building product supply to do it quick enough and fast enough. So,
and I think that's in times like this is when your clients are working on affordable housing, domestic violence, etc. So the work just picks up in other avenues or retirement, etc. So let's face it, but building never stops, right?
No, it can't. Look, it's one of the biggest revenue pillars of the federal government. Look, if they didn't have it, the country wouldn't exist. That's just how it works. So you've just got well, that's good. It's great to hear that you're still busy and everything's going really in a real positive direction. So that's cool.
I freaked out not a few weeks ago, but the end of the financial year and the school holidays.
Yeah,
so I like to be busy all the time, and I had a couple of weeks. I was like, oh my gosh, and I freaked out. And I spoke to some of the BDMs, and they're like, Jacqui, this is just you because you're not racing around with your head chopped off. You're freaking out, but maybe you should just enjoy it. And then, come the date, everyone returned back after school holidays. It was like trying to keep up again.
That's gold.
So
I'm the same way. When I have a quiet period, I'm like, this isn't normal. Oh well, I'll just go to the gym.
I prefer to work under pressure.
Yeah, me too. I'll just go to the gym a few more times, or do something else. But I've got my time completely occupied now, so I'm sorted. Like I don't need to worry about what I'm not doing. I need to worry about trying to find more time to have a break, which is the next part. So very, very cool. Tell me about one of the biggest challenges that you faced in your career in tiling and stone.
Probably goes back from the start, being younger, being in the industry, quite male dominant, I should say, sorry. And just being that young girl trying to make your way through the industry. And a few people commented to me 4 years later that, when you walked in, we didn't really have too much respect for you. I thought, oh, here we go. She's just the daughter of someone, or she's this, she's that. And it wasn't until you actually knew what you were speaking about and you had the information we needed and you can answer all our questions. You answered them all honestly. My boss taught me, if you can't answer something, don't lie. Just say, look, I'll get back to you. I don't know the answer to that. And I think once you build people's respect, then, you just soared through the industry,
Yeah. You touched on some really good points there. I mean, I saw that myself, and I still see it today. The male dominance in the industry, whether it's tile and stone, or whether it's other building products, or whether it's going to a job site, it's still pretty common out there. Do you think it's changing much, or changing fast enough?
Oh, look.
Or do you think it needs to change? Like,
no, I don't. I think you make your own way through. You learn, like, if you go out with builders, developers, and you want to have your red wine and your fish, you just have your red wine fish. You don't have to have your steak and beer to fit in. You just need to be within yourself, be yourself, not try blend in with everyone else. I think the industry is where it's at. You just got to rise above and hold your head high and have self-worth within yourself, and that's all you really need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I appreciate you saying that. It's a really excellent opinion. I mean, I think very much the same. I think the people earn respect based upon their experience and what they can bring to the table. So if you really want to make a name for yourself in any endeavor, you really need to study the field, and
Absolutely.
you can excel any way you want. I do feel, I mean, I'm a bit of a fan because I've got a daughter, right? So I'm a bit of a fan for getting more women in the industry, and I think, I think there's been some great examples of people, particularly on LinkedIn. I know that you're very active on there and you've got a good following, and I'm the same. And there's some amazing women on there doing some really incredible things.
Absolutely.
And I love to see some more young, or it can be any age, but I love to see some more female tilers. I know there's a handful out there, but I'd love to see so many more, because I mean, obviously that's the podcast, Tiling Connect. I'd love to see more girls picking up the trowels. I think of the work that I've seen of the ones that I know of is just incredible. Like, they're not to take anything away from the men out there. They're all doing great work, but the girls are doing some amazing jobs, and their attention to detail, it's great. So it's really good to have that balance, and it's great to see, the opportunities are there if you want to go after it.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's in any industry you have it. You've got school teachers that need more male teachers, or you've got daycares that actually need male teachers. But there's every industry that has that little bit of a hold back within that, in the sexes, I guess you could say. Yeah.
Cool. A brief word from our sponsor. Are you looking for a water drainage solution that serves its purpose and adds a touch of elegance to your space? Lux's Grates are here to revolutionise your indoor and outdoor applications. Whether it's a shower, bathroom, balcony, pool, or any other area, Lux's Grates is the ideal choice. It's quick and easy installation that you can bang out in just over an hour. Their standard grates offer a classic and timeless look, while the next generation style adds a modern twist to your space. Lux's grates are made of high quality anodised aluminium, ensuring durability and longevity. Moving out of that space just for a second, talking about challenges at work, tell me about a challenge in your life that's shaped who you are today. What's one of the biggest lessons that you've learned from that's contributed to who you are?
Gosh, that's not an easy one. I guess live for the present moment, live for today. Yeah. Not freak out about the future, not live in the past, just live for the moment of now. And not an easy one.
No. If you don't mind me talking about it, so you've got a little son now, right?
Yeah.
Is he 4?
Yeah. Yep. No, 3. He just turned 3, sorry.
Just turned 3, sorry. Okay, I'm off by a year. My apologies. And his name is?
Jay Lewis.
Jay Lewis.
His name's Jay, but I love his middle name. My French bulldog, I call him Boston Jack, so I will give him a middle name. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Crazy.
So you're a mum now.
Yes.
Obviously, massive change for you. What's it like? What's it like juggling and balancing it all?
That would be a huge challenge. When I actually came back to work, Jay was 8 months. I was actually a single mum when Jay was 5 months of age. But I came back to work and just pretended like everything was amazing because I didn't want people to question whether I could do this job and be a single mum. And I didn't want the pressure of having to explain everything and speak about it. So I just went to work for a year just pretending everything was amazing, knowing deep down I was a single mum. And, so that was a challenge. It was a challenge. It was a challenge with some of my clients, with them realising that I still could offer the same service I did before I was a mum. And obviously bonding with some other clients because we were mums. Yeah. So you bonded with some clients because you were a mother, so you could speak on that level. So that was a huge challenge coming back to work. But singing ABC and Twinkle Twinkle Little Under the Stars, it was a lot. I really I love my job. my job for a long time has been my happy place.
Yeah.
I obviously had a domestic violence relationship for 5 years. So everything that I did at work was my happy place. So yeah, that was definitely a challenge. Yeah.
Were there moments where some of the clients didn't understand where you were situated with being a single mum, or was that more something that you?
I don't think anyone ever felt it.
Yeah.
I think I had to gain back some of my clients' respect that I could be there. So I worked extra hard so that they knew you contacted me. I work on a 24-hour turnaround. So if a client emails me today, I reply today, and I'm generally there the next day. So I try to offer a service that no one else can.
Yes.
Well, others do, but I try. That's my motto, because if I can give them that, then they'll always call on me. So I wouldn't say they'd ever know that. I think eventually, when clients would speak to you, I'd be honest. I know, I'm actually a single mum, but yeah, it took a while to be able to be comfortably able to say that, actually. Yeah. And even to my colleagues, to say, I didn't want anyone to ask me. I didn't want to cry at work in case I'd have some tears over it. Because you've all got this picture in your head of what life's meant to be, your white picket fence and your husband and your career and you're driven and your family. So I kept it to myself until I could prove that I was exactly the same person I was before I became a mum.
And I imagine that proving it was to yourself, right?
To myself, absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I just felt if I hadn't been honest about it, there would have been a lot of pressure on me. Like, how's she doing it? How's she making work 5 days a week on her own? How's she, you know what I mean? So I just wanted to show everyone I was the same person I left after a baby. It didn't change anything about me. If anything, it drove me harder because I drive myself for him and my little boy.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Look, I was a single parent, but I wasn't the person that was raising my kids when they were younger. My daughter was very young when my partnership with my ex didn't work out. And then I had a second go at it, and that didn't work either. And it's tough. Like, it's difficult, probably more today than it is back when my kids were growing up, because my daughter's now 26 and my boys are 17 and 18, or 16 and 18. So, but I imagine today you've got all of the other extra external sources telling you what the perfect parent should be like. You've got social media, you've got.
Don't have any of that. Only have LinkedIn. Got rid of Instagram. Got rid of Facebook.
That's fantastic, and that's
so I can focus on. That's why I have can email my clients back, because I'm not distracted by any external. I have LinkedIn because it's a professional site, and you do need it. When you're trying to connect with clients, or you're seeing upcoming projects that you can email your clients about. But I don't have the other social medias.
Good on you.
Yeah. To be present with my son as well, so he's not going, Mummy, look at this. And you're on your phone watching people's stories. So social media gone.
Good on you, Jacqui. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. And I'm glad you are where you're at. And so tell us more about the roles that you've held. And I'm just picking up on a point that you raised before about the service that you offer your clients, right? I can guarantee you it's fairly unique. I sort of have a very similar motto about when people contact you. I have a schedule on replying, whether it be by email or phone or whatever the case might be, or even social media, because I do a lot of contact with contractors and builders and things, because there's so many different forms of bloody communication today. It's not funny. About the only thing we're not using is pigeons. It'd be probably easier. But picking up on what you said about your response times, what are some of the other ingredients it takes to be successful in your role? Are there other things apart from being, first to reply or instantly reply?
You've got to have the knowledge. You've got to be prompt. You've got to be reliable. You've got to be ahead of the game. You've got to know the trends that are coming through. Keep up to date with, what the marketplace is needing and wanting. So you have that for your clients. Obviously know the technical, like the Handbook 198 that your clients need, slip ratings, accelerated wear tests. So it's not just, here's a pretty tile. You've got to know what is for certain areas in the commercial. So it's not just what do you want, you've got to, there's a lot of points to commercial that you've got to fulfill.
Yes.
I guess it's also building up that relation. I find building a relationship with clients is the most important step. That's number one. Not, hey, I want your work and I want all your work. It's, what do you want and how can I help you and how can I work with you? How does it work with you and us? So you've got to build a relationship. It's so important. Doesn't matter if you can be there first to put something there if you don't have a relationship with that client.
Yeah, it's I imagine that it would have been pretty tough. Well, it may not have been as tough for you as it was for me, but during COVID, I mean, obviously I was in Melbourne at the time, so it was just like 2 years of lockdown. You can't do anything, can't speak to anybody, don't move.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like Red Rover.
Yeah.
You get called over and you can't move for like 2 years. So, but in Queensland, you had lockdown for like three. Yeah, lockdown for like 3 minutes. So,
and we just dropped off at garage doors, or we just made it happen. Like we didn't stop. We really didn't stop.
I couldn't imagine that you would have.
No.
Even if there was COVID, you'd probably find a way just to push through it and just do it anyway. So, what's I've lost what I was going to say now. So that's we'll just move. No, that's all right. It was cool. The question will come back. Trust me.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Matildas are playing tonight. Hopefully, they're going to beat England, and it's going to be a Spain and Matildas grand final on the weekend. Have you been watching the soccer?
No, I should because my son's going to play it. Jacqui. So Joey loves soccer.
Yep.
He plays soccer like 4 days a week. So I really need to understand the game.
8 o'clock tonight. I think it's on Channel 7 HD.
I probably should start studying it. I think I'm going to try take up golf so I can play golf with my son, so I can have something in common with him there. And Daddy can be the soccer.
Don't worry about golf. Golf's not a really interesting game. No, that's cool. All right. So back on track. So from what you're seeing now in the industry, and you've got I imagine, well, I'm guessing you've got a pretty good handle on what's happening out there. What are you seeing as some of the biggest challenges that we're facing in the tiling industry at the moment?
The biggest challenges, I guess it depends what department you're in. I mean, there's a lot of suppliers out there now. It's probably one of the industries that there are so many suppliers. Like you might have Caesar Stone and one other or two other companies, whereas you go to our clients and they've got 15 suppliers in there. Obviously undercutting of pricing. I guess it depends what you're in the industry. I mean, for myself, it's obviously competitors and how many people are importing tiles. Like you seem to see a different tile name pop up weekly at the moment. People setting up another business, or they're online, so they don't have the warehouse, or they have the warehouse but they don't have the overheads that we have. So people are just really undercutting prices.
And I imagine that must be one of the biggest challenges. Like I've spoken to a lot of people in the industry, and I think it's one of the things that it's where it makes it more difficult for the majors to compete against the independents is that pricing structure. And it's not because either or is bigger, better, or less greater than one another. It's just that they don't have the overheads that a major company has. And you've got marketing budgets, and you've got HR budgets, and you've got, training budgets and all that sort of stuff, where an independent operator can literally open a door and start selling straight away at a lower profitability to win the business. So how do you counter that when is that something that you have to deal directly with, or is it something that you just need to be aware of?
When we document and put forward products for schedules of finishes, and then someone else puts something forward and sells it to the builder, at that point it really is out of our hands. I am lucky. I have an incredible team. I call us the A team in Brisbane, because the BDMs we have do an incredible job to keep our schedules of finishes. They follow through. So we've got an incredible team. You're not just dealing with one representative to do a whole commercial project. We've got order support backing us. We've got a network of people to make sure our projects go all the way through. But it's the nature of the game to win and lose. Like you can't win everything, because how do you grow if you win everything and you don't lose? Where you've got to feel that hurt of, oh my God, 80 samples for that project, 200 units, and this guy got it because the price was 50 cents cheaper. You can't grow if you don't have a loss. You learn. You learn from that. So yeah.
Well, you hope people learn from that, and that's the important. That's the important part of that piece of it. Is it? When you make a mistake or you scratch your hand, or you put your hand under on a flame for some reason, you learn not to do it again. So
absolutely,
and that's the important lesson that I think people need to take away from the sales process.
Yeah,
is that you're right. You're not always going to win every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's it from a work perspective. I'd love to, and I know we've already spoken a little bit about your little family, which is awesome. I love it. I was sort of, when you were posting some stuff on Insta, I saw some pictures pop up, and I thought they were awesome. So, but look, tell me more about Jacqui outside of tiling. What are you? Tell me about what's going on, what's happening in life. Anything exciting?
Life is busy.
Yeah,
life is busy. Obviously. Work, gym. I try to go to dance on Friday night, hip hop for a bit of fitness, which is a bit of fun, but it's obviously hard to commit to every Friday. But a bunch of great ladies go there.
Cool.
What else do I do outside other than mummy and fur mummy? Look, my life is dedicated to Jay, obviously, being 3. I give him my world. I have a very good relationship with his father, so we co-parent really, really well. So I don't really have the stresses that other people have. So we have a very mutual understanding that everything is for him.
Yep.
Do go to church on Sundays.
Yeah.
So I found being a single mum, I have a lot of time, no husband, no second child. So I have a lot of time, and I found it really hard to bond with a lot of mothers and try and sort of develop those mummy groups. So, I went to the library on my Tuesdays off with Jay, and people wouldn't talk to you. And I went to Little Kickers, and the mums wouldn't talk to you there. And I was like, how do you meet some like-minded, nice people, So I actually went to church. So that was pretty amazing. Like, everyone will come up and speak to you, and everyone's just, in the same sort of place in life, which is quite lovely. You meet some lovely people there. And met some beautiful mummy friends. So our kids hang out.
Yeah, that's cool.
And honestly, by the time you've worked, trained, walked, the time just goes.
The day's finished.
There isn't much really time left to eat much.
Yeah. And where are you now these days? Don't tell me your address, of course, because this is a podcast, and we certainly don't want to give that information out.
Yeah.
Where are you? North side, south side?
I'm on the Gold Coast now.
Oh, you're back on the Goldie?
Yeah, I'm back on the Gold Coast. I'm in Maudslin, which is basically out the back of Movie World.
Got
a beautiful acre out here, so my little boy can drive his tractor singing Paw Patrol while I follow him around the block to get my steps in when he won't come walk with me in the morning.
That's awesome.
So, it's beautiful out here. My sister's had a baby, so obviously we see her every Tuesday. I took Tuesdays off work face-to-face. I still answer my clients' emails, but just to be with my son.
Yeah.
So I get to see my sister every Tuesday and her little girl. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. What's the do you spend much time?
Pretty simple.
Simple as
simplistic.
Simplistically speaking, it's okay if I'm saying that correctly. If my English isn't good, bad luck. This is my podcast, and that's just how it's going to be. What have you been to the Goldie? Do you go to the Goldie much, or down to the beach with Jay?
Go to the beach with Jay, but I've just put in a beautiful big pool, so I love the swimming pool. I'm getting to that age where you can't stand sand.
Yes.
So you go to the beach just so your kid loves the beach, but you don't really like it yourself. You'd rather be in the pool.
So party at your place for the extremely hot summer that apparently we're getting from Europe and Canada.
I've lost the question there.
That's all right. I was just talking about the Goldie, whether or not you'd actually gone down there. I haven't been there forever. So
look, I don't drink anymore. And if I do, it's a red on a Friday night when I don't have Jay every second week. And it's just beautiful to have a couple of reds to myself. Yep. But I don't go, I don't go out much or. Yeah. And I really enjoy. I love being a mum, actually. I'm glad I'm very blessed to have my son. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a beautiful life.
Cool. I'm really happy for you. That's cool. It's really cool.
Everyone's like, I'm surprised you're going to be a mother. I think someone said that to me at a wedding once.
Just let it go through to the keeper. Whatever.
Exactly.
I'll prove you guys wrong.
Yeah. Always.
That's right. I'm a granddad now, so I've got a little grandson. So
yes, unbelievable.
Time flies when you're having fun. Very cool. Well, look, 2023, we're halfway through the year. It's nearly over. Anything planned? What's planned for you for the rest of the year? Any holidays? Any exciting career things going on?
I'd like to go away next year, take Jay somewhere for my 40th.
Oh, yeah.
Do a family trip together. No, this year just bought us another house, so my money's all going into that at the moment.
Excellent.
And I'm praying it gets into the private school that I've applied for. So that's my biggest drive. I hear back March if he gets into that. So yeah, just family focused, Mark, to be honest with you, work focused.
Awesome.
Yeah, like I'd love to be able to take on a management role if I can in the architectural game. Come when Jay's at school, I'd like to drive myself more throughout my career. Show my son, like I talk to him about work now, and he'll say to me in the car, "No, wait, Mummy, why do I have to go to daycare?" I said, "Because Mummy's got to go to work." And he goes, "Oh, that's right. That explains it, Mummy." And he goes to me like, "Well, I'll go to work for you, Mummy, and you can go to daycare." And I said, "Oh, believe me, I'd love that. But for now, you need to have fun. There's plenty of life to work. Plenty of time in your life, you're going to have to work." So teaching him great work ethics is huge. My father teaches him a lot too. He always wants to be cutting trees and building. And so, I just want a little go-getter there.
It's that generation of parents. My parents, well, my mum and dad are pretty old now, like they're in their late 70s.
Yeah.
But Dad was like that when I was growing up. He was always working. You know, there wouldn't be a moment on a weekend, because he was in the police force for 25, 26 years. Yes. And there wouldn't be a moment on the weekends where from Saturday morning till Sunday afternoon, he was just working around the house, around the house, taking the kids, doing it. Like, it was just a workhorse. It was just that generation of parents were just incredible. I don't know how they did it.
Yeah. And that's what Jay sees, that's what I want him to see. He sees it with my grandparents, but he also sees that with Mummy. She gets up, she does her steps. He even says to me, "Mummy, I've got to get my steps in." Because they take in everything you say. So I want him to be the same way and have a great work ethic and want to work, I know he's only 3.
They're the most important years.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where they learn the most.
Right? Yeah.
They go quick. Yeah, well, that's cool. Well, before we finish up all of our episodes, we really do like to ask some final fast track questions. So I'm gonna throw some at you. I've got some new ones this week, and they're the first time that we've asked these questions. So we're going to start with these ones and then see where we end up before we conclude today. So, room, desk, or car? What do you clean first?
Room.
Why?
Because I love it to just be perfect. My car is. I'm a girl. The man should do that. I don't have the man. And a desk, I don't have a desk. My desk is my phone. Like, where are we going there? Yeah. There is no desk.
Excellent. What are you not very good at?
Well, no one's perfect, right?
No.
What am I not very good at? Punctuation, full stops, commas. And my clients have learned how to read me. I just they know that I'm on the road. It's a quick email and they know I'm going to get it done.
Yep. Love it. That's cool.
Half the time it's through voice to text,
Yes. I haven't really cottoned onto that. I really need to do more of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how weird are you? 1 being least, 10 being most.
6 maybe. Let's just go mutual a little bit. The middle way. I like the Little Mermaid at 39, so maybe that's weird.
Yeah, maybe not. That's cool. We'll let the wider community be the judge of that in their own rooms and houses, I should say. What's one productivity hack that you have that you'd like to share with everyone?
Well, what do you mean by that?
Productivity. Sorry? What helps you function better, faster, quicker, easier?
Okay. Yeah, in that regards. I guess just your drive and passion.
Yeah.
It keeps you, and like I said to you, pressure. Yeah. Pressure keeps me productive. Try to be the best. Gives you that edge, that representation. It gives you that edge.
Yeah, I like it.
That was a hard one.
Yeah. I'm not here to to have all easy questions.
It's actually good. Like even doing this it's a development growth, right? It gets you out of your comfort zone.
Yes. Yeah. I started episode 1 thinking, what the hell am I doing? And now I'm at episode 29. Your episode 29. Go. So episode 30 is being recorded next week. So look at that. It's great. And these sorts of things they put you out of your comfort zone, and that's the best place to be living at least 80% of your time.
Yeah.
So, Jacqui, you've been incredible. Thank you for sharing so much today. I've learned some things, and I've really loved having you on the show and sharing with us your story and how things are going and happening.
Thanks,
so
Mark.
I'm sure that I definitely want to catch up with you soon, have a coffee, because I haven't seen you in person for bloody ever. Now that I know that you're on the Gold Coast, I'm actually going to be down there next week, so I'll reach out to you. Now, people, we always offer this. People would love to, if they want to connect with you outside of the show, which from time to time they do. What's the best way for them to connect in with you? And I'll put that in the show notes.
Oh, just can connect me through my LinkedIn profile. I answer all my messages. If someone wants my email or phone number from there, can definitely from there, no problems.
Cool.
Open book, always here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I will put that in there. And the name of if you can send me the details of the coaching
absolutely.
company, send that through to me, and I'll put that in the show notes as well.
Yeah.
And
fantastic for companies to have their teams listen to them. That he's just absolutely unbelievable, and his coaches are just amazing.
Well, Jacqui, you've been incredible. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Tiling Connect. Don't forget to rate and review this podcast. To see more of Tiling Connect, jump on our socials and follow us via LinkedIn, Instagram and Facebook. If you'd like to be part of the show, email us at tilingconnect@gmail.com. Until next time, stay connected.